What is going on, my little mini editors? Today I'm going to show you guys how to use Twixtor. It's a really, there's been a lot of tutorials on it, but there's some good settings you can use to reduce the warping that happens. And I'm going to show you guys my personal Twixtor settings. First of all, if you're using After Effects, if you're editing an episode and you're not sure what FPS they are, if you didn't know, the FPS is listed right here. You can see that this clip is in 59.94 frames per second, which is important for Twixtor because if you're editing a clip that is, say, 29.97, you're going to want to change the input frame rate, which is the default that Twixtor goes on is 29.97. So first we'll just go find where the 500 is big. That's where I like the Twixtor. Normally, so let's just say there's the shot right here. Boom, you see there's the 500. We'll put the Twixtor right where he shoots. So go over a few more frames. Close enough. Yes, this is recording theater mode, so that's probably where he shoots. So Control-Shift-D to split the clip. Go in our effects and presets and search Twixtor. Twixtor Pro. We're all pro here. And so as you can see, this looks completely terrible. You don't want this. So go to your input frame rate with 59.94. As you can see, it's a little bit better, but it'll look worse in some places, like the scope right here looks a little bit deformed, but I put the image, okay, so for my settings, we have the image prep right here. You're going to want to put that to contrast/edge enhance. And then your warping, I normally put that to forward. Do I do anything with this? No, I do not do anything with that. I didn't remember what that was. Make sure that this is by speed, not the frame number. That will mess everything up. And then click on your layer right here, and then go to layer, and then go to frame blending, and go to frame blending pixel motion. So these are just going to help you a little bit more. I think something that, I think it was Baker's Tuts did, he would go on here and do motion tile. You put that on, and then have it to mirror edges, so that way the warping would look a little bit better. You wouldn't notice it as much. So this is looking okay, but I normally don't do the motion tile, but just in case you guys are wondering how you can make it look a little bit better, you can do that. So for the speed, make sure that you press the stopwatch, because otherwise if you just put it to like 10% here, it's going to play the entire thing as if this and on was all 10%. So if you were to put it to 10 here without keyframing it, then it would just feel like back when he's in the air. And I'm not sure if I said this already, but the reason that I cut it here, or cut it at the shot, is because if there was Twixtor on here, it would still warp around the edges even though it's on 100%. I'm not sure why it does that, but it does, so I don't like to have a Twixtor while he's in the air. But, or while there's spinning in general. But if you do want to have this slowed down, one thing that I'm pretty sure would work is if you were to go on here and then went to time and then time stretch. Alright, sorry if there's a cut right there, I just did something I didn't want. So again, for the time stretch, you can put time stretch on to maybe slow it down in the air. Maybe put it to 105 or 110. I don't normally do that, but some people like to have it a little bit slower when the person is in the air. So if you want to do that, you can. So to take off this time stretch, 100. And so if we go to where we have it Twixtored, right here, what I normally do is I'll keyframe it at the shot at 100%. At the shot. Don't think he wants to. Okay. Keyframe it at 100% here. And go over one frame and put it up to 150. And then you're going to want to go over a few frames. Not really sure how many, just a couple, use your judgment. Then put it down to 100. and then go over a few more frames until it starts to go down a little bit, and then put it down. I normally use 3. If you want to use 6 or so, you can use that, just so that way the 500 stays at around its biggest. So this is looking okay. If you want to, you could ease it, or use your own graph editor to make it go the speed that you want. But so this is Twixtor, and there's a very similar effect called Time Warp, and it comes free with After Effects. So if you don't want to buy Twixtor or try to find it from somewhere, if you go in your effect presets and search Time Warp, I used to use this a long time ago. It's very similar to Twixtor, it still works good. Put it to 100% speed. Yes, the main benefit to this is that you do not have to use the input frame rate, because it just does that by itself. So speed, again, 150. This warps a lot more though. Well, I think it does. But so then back to 100. 3. And so this is basically very similar program to Twixtor. There's a very similar plugin. If you want to go in and try to use Time Warp instead of Twixtor, be my guest. I think that Baker's Tuts has made a tutorial on it. So if you want to go and watch his tutorial for Time Warp, I'd recommend you go watch that, because he knows what he's doing more than I do with editing. So, thanks guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my Twixtor settings tutorial. And, be sure to subscribe if you want to see more tutorials to edit like I do. Alright, thank you, and bye.